Hey James, do you know about macadamia nuts? I heard they're one of the most expensive nuts in the world. But really, what makes them so special? Why are they so valuable?
Well, macadamia nuts are indeed very special. They're not just expensive, but also very difficult to grow and harvest. This makes macadamias incredibly valuable and rare. Let me tell you the whole story, from their origins, history, and why they're often called the king of nuts. First, to really understand, we need to explore the origins and history of the macadamia tree. This nut has traveled a long way from the rainforests of Australia to become one of the most sought-after and expensive nuts in the world.
James, I heard the macadamia tree comes from a very remote and wild place. But exactly where does it come from?
The macadamia tree originates from the tropical rainforests of Australia, where the ecosystem is rich and diverse. Its scientific name is Macadamia integrifolia for the most common edible variety. This tree belongs to the Proteaceae family, an ancient plant family dating back to the time of the dinosaurs. The Indigenous Australians have been using macadamia nuts for thousands of years, viewing them as a valuable and nutritious food source. They called it kindle kindle and often used the nuts in festivals and important ceremonies. Macadamia nuts were not only a source of energy but also a symbol of prosperity and abundance within their communities. It wasn't until European explorers arrived in Australia that this nut began to gain wider recognition around the world. Discoveries about the macadamia tree were recorded in the 19th century by German botanist Ferdinand von Muller, who later named the species after his close friend, John Macadam. This is a great example of how science and history came together to introduce a unique natural product to the world.
That's so interesting. So how did the macadamia tree spread around the world? How did it become so popular?
The macadamia tree traveled a long way to become the popular nut it is today. In the late 19th century, European explorers and settlers brought macadamia seeds from Australia to Hawaii. They chose Hawaii because its climate closely matches that of tropical Australia. Unexpectedly, the macadamia tree thrived in Hawaii, thanks to the island's fertile soil and ideal climate. Hawaii quickly became one of the world's leading producers of macadamia nuts. Before long, macadamia nuts gained fame and became highly sought after, not just in the US, but globally. From a little-known native nut, macadamia became a symbol of luxury and quality. We can see the development of the macadamia tree in Hawaii through historical documents and archival images. Photos from the late 19th century show how the first macadamia plantations were established and grew. This was a crucial part of bringing macadamia to the global stage. Did you know? The name macadamia has an interesting story behind it. The tree was named after John Macadam, a Scottish chemist and politician who made significant contributions to the study and promotion of this nut in the mid-19th century. His close friend, botanist Ferdinand von Muller, decided to name the tree in his honor, recognizing Macadam's contributions to botany and agriculture. This shows that from early on, macadamias were valued not just for their nutritional benefits but also for their cultural and scientific significance. So, from a little-known native nut, macadamia has gone through an exciting journey to become one of the most beloved nuts in the world. It's not just food, it carries cultural and historical significance, from its ancient origins to its iconic name.
James, hearing you talk about the origins and history of macadamia is fascinating, but I still don't quite get it. Why are macadamias so expensive? There must be a reason behind it, right?
That's right, Alex. There are actually several factors that make macadamias one of the most expensive nuts in the world. First of all, the macadamia tree takes a very long time to produce fruit. On average, it takes 7 to 10 years from planting before the tree starts bearing its first nuts. Additionally, this tree only thrives in tropical environments with specific soil and climate conditions and requires meticulous care. That's the first reason why it's so valuable. But that's not all. The rarity of macadamias is another major factor. The macadamia tree can't be grown just anywhere. Only a few regions, like Australia, Hawaii, and a few parts of South Africa, can meet the tough conditions this tree requires. So, the supply of macadamia nuts is always limited, and when demand exceeds supply, prices naturally go up.
So not everywhere can grow macadamias? I thought that with such a famous nut, there would be plenty of places producing it.
No, it's this rarity that makes macadamias so special. Even more so, the harvesting and processing of macadamia nuts are not easy at all. Let me share another factor that makes these nuts so expensive. Macadamia nuts have an extremely hard shell, so tough that even after they're harvested, cracking the shell to get the nut inside is no small feat. Specialized tools and advanced techniques are required to crack the shell without damaging the nut. This makes the production process much more complex and expensive. All these factors, growing time, geographical conditions, and the challenges of harvesting add up to increase the value and price of macadamias.
Now I get it. Macadamias are expensive not just because they're rare, but also because the production process is so complicated. It's truly a tough journey to get these nuts.
Exactly. For instance, to produce 1 kilogram of macadamia nuts, farmers need to harvest dozens of kilograms of fresh nuts. Then there's the drying, shelling, and sorting process, all of which require high-level techniques and a lot of time. This explains why every macadamia nut on the market holds such high value.
James, I heard that the macadamia tree has a very long lifespan. Is that true? This really surprises me, because not every tree can live that long.
That's right, Alex. The macadamia tree is really special in this regard. Although it takes 7 to 10 years for the tree to start bearing nuts, once it matures, it can produce nuts for over 100 years. Just imagine, one macadamia tree can support multiple generations of farmers, which is why people put so much care into growing these trees. When a macadamia tree is planted properly and in ideal conditions, it can become a long-term and sustainable resource. Not only does it have a long lifespan, but the macadamia tree also requires very meticulous care. The tree needs to be planted in areas with specific soil conditions, adequate rainfall, and stable climate. Even slight changes in weather or environment can significantly affect its yield.
I had no idea a macadamia tree could live that long and require such careful attention. This must be really challenging for the farmers.
Exactly. This is also why macadamias are so valuable. The production of macadamia nuts not only depends on the tree's lifespan but also on the painstaking care and harvesting process. As I mentioned, not every place can grow macadamias, and the trees that are planted require special attention for many years. So even though a macadamia tree can bear fruit for a long time, its annual yield isn't as high as many other crops. When you combine all these factors, long growing time, demanding care requirements, the production of macadamia nuts not only depends on the tree's lifespan but also on the painstaking. They're not just delicious and nutritious, but also the result of patience and hard work spanning decades, even centuries.
It's true that macadamia nuts aren't just valuable for their nutritional content, they're also a symbol of sustainability and hard work. I appreciate them even more now that I know about their journey and the unique characteristics of the macadamia tree. You know, this really makes me want to learn more about other aspects of this nut.
If you haven't tried macadamia nuts yet, I encourage you to give them a shot. You can add macadamias to salads, bake with them, or even make macadamia milk. It's a great way to experience the flavor and nutritional value of this special nut.
Hey James, I've heard that macadamia nuts contain a lot of fat. Does that make them unhealthy? I always thought too much fat isn't good for you.
It's true that macadamias are high in fat, but it's mostly monounsaturated fat, which is known to be good for heart health.
Oh, so not all fats are bad. If macadamias have this good kind of fat, they must be even more beneficial than I thought.
That's right, and that's not all. Macadamia nuts also contain plenty of antioxidants and vitamin E, which are known to protect the body from free radicals. These free radicals can cause cell damage and contribute to aging. So, eating macadamias can help with anti-aging and maintaining healthy skin.
Wow, that's awesome. So eating macadamias isn't just good for your heart, but it can also help you stay younger and keep your skin glowing.
Exactly, and there's more. Macadamias are also high in fiber, which helps support a healthy digestive system. Fiber can improve digestion and help control blood sugar levels. Some studies have shown that adding fiber from nuts like macadamias can benefit overall health, but of course, this should be combined with a balanced diet and healthy lifestyle.
I didn't realize such a small nut like macadamia could offer so many benefits. It's definitely a great choice to add to my diet, as long as I eat the right amount.
Exactly, honey. Macadamias aren't just delicious, they're also a valuable source of nutrition. However, as I mentioned, the key is to enjoy them in moderation and pair them with a healthy lifestyle. That's the best way to fully benefit from what macadamias have to offer. If you're looking to incorporate macadamias into your daily diet, try adding a few to your salad or using them as a topping for your morning oatmeal. Plus, roasted macadamias make for an excellent snack.
James, I'm really curious. Does macadamia have any special role in the culture of Indigenous Australians? I heard it was once an important part of their lives.
That's right, honey. Macadamia nuts aren't just a nutritious food source, they hold deep cultural significance for Indigenous Australians. They called it Kindle Kindle. Macadamia nuts were even used as a form of currency in trade between tribes. The large, perfect macadamia nuts were considered precious gifts in ceremonies and festivals. They truly were an essential part of the spiritual and economic life of the indigenous people.
That's amazing. I had no idea macadamias had such a significant value in Indigenous Australian culture. This makes them feel even more special.
Exactly. And beyond its ancient cultural value, macadamias are now the focus of modern scientific research. One thing that not many people know is that the macadamia nut shell, once considered waste, is now being explored and utilized by scientists. Scientists are studying how to use macadamia nut shells as eco-friendly building materials. Because these shells are extremely hard and durable, they can be recycled and used as an alternative resource in construction. This not only helps reduce waste but also contributes to environmental protection by creating sustainable and nature-friendly building materials. It's a big step forward in making the most out of natural resources.
That's incredible. It's amazing that even the macadamia nut shell has valuable uses. I think this is a fantastic way to make the most of what nature provides us.
And there's more. Macadamia nuts are linked to some world records too. For example, the world's largest macadamia tree, over 150 years old, is still preserved on a farm in Australia. Or the record-breaking macadamia nut harvest in Hawaii that astonished many. These records only further highlight the global prominence of macadamias.
That's so impressive. Macadamias are not just rare, but they also carry so many incredible stories and values. I'm really surprised by all these fascinating things I've just learned. So, we've explored so many interesting things about macadamia nuts, from their origins, history, and nutritional value, to their unique applications and cultural stories. We hope you've learned some useful and surprising information about this small but incredibly valuable nut.
If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit the like button to support us. And remember to subscribe so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. We have many more exciting stories about food and culture to share with you. We're so happy to share this information with you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. We're always here to listen and we'll do our best to answer all your questions. We'd also love to know what you think about macadamia nuts. Have you ever tried them? If so, what's your favorite dish with macadamia nuts? Share it with us.
If you found this video helpful, feel free to share it with your friends and family so they can learn more about macadamia nuts too. And if you haven't tried them yet, why not pick some up and experience them today?
Thank you for watching today's video. We hope you had a great time with us. See you in the next video.